Yeah. Like, my dad's hot, and I say it all the time.
Your dad is hot.
Oh, my dad's hot.
I got a hot
is.
dad, too.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things.
Sara Haines, co-host of The View, made headlines after saying something very unexpected. And Joe Rogan, the king of controversial takes, is now in the mix too. Did he really try to slam Sara over her bizarre statement? Or is there more to this cringe-worthy showdown? Stick around and find out. Let us rewind a bit to The View. Yes, that daily talk show everyone seems to hate, but it still rakes in millions of views monthly.
The fans, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like, they're probably immobile.
Sara Haines made a comment on a recent episode that had people cringing like tissue. She called her dad, wait for it, hot. Yes, you heard that right. How awkward is that? It all started when the panel was discussing a comment by Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of JFK. Jack tweeted a true or false statement. Usha Vance is way hotter than Jackie O. Just so we're clear, Jackie O is his grandmother, and it seemed to amuse the ladies.
Your grandmother? That's your grandmother. Now, we all know plenty of older women who are attractive and still hot.
Well, as they had fun back and forth on this issue, Sara suddenly dropped a bombshell no one saw coming.
You'd have a hot dad. And my friends my whole life talked about my hot dad. And Brian thinks it's weird. He's like, no, because I'm not blind. I don't want to, I'm not attracted to him. He's just hot.
Yes, folks. Sara called her father, Dick Haines, hot. And she didn't just say it once. Oh no, she said it not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Did you cringe too? Because I certainly did. Joy Behar started it all. She had made a funny comment about her own grandmother in aprons.
She was 60. I can't tell you that she was hot. She never took her apron off.
Well, that's when Haines jumped right in without hesitation. Even when it's family, you have eyes though. Like, my dad's hot, and I say it all the time, she declared, leaving everyone stunned. And this wasn't just a passing comment. She spoke with conviction, like these were words straight from the heart. It was bold, unexpected, and for many, more than a little awkward.
They wanted to be your stepmom?
One time we were, they did. We were walking up to my yard and my dad was mowing the lawn and had no shirt on. My friend Emily's like, oh my God, who's mowing your lawn? I was like, that's my dad.
Okay, what? I'm really curious about how you guys feel about her comments. That must have been uncomfortable for everyone in that studio, especially her co-hosts. Her bold reveal was met with a wave of awkward laughter from everyone on set. The kind of laughter where you're not sure if people are amused or just trying to fill the silence. To make things even more cringeworthy, the camera cut to a visibly uncomfortable producer whose expression said it all. Pure secondhand embarrassment.
Brian thinks it's weird. He's like,
friends always wanted to date my dad.
And you know what? It wasn't just Sara. Sonny just had to chime in too.
I can see it. My friends always wanted to date my dad.
Oh no, the cringe. Hostin said her friends were so into her good-looking dad that they always wanted to date him. Griffin, clearly surprised, asked, they wanted to be your stepmom. Hostin simply nodded and replied, they did. And just like that, the segment quickly spiraled into a hot dad-off. These grown women began arguing about whose dad was hotter on live TV. I mean, fathers aren't supposed to be hot to their daughters, right? The live audience seemed to take it well, though. They seemed to be more amused than confused. But the internet? Oh, the internet did not let this one slide. Memes flooded the internet overnight, and X was on fire with reactions. People were disgusted at the thought of Sara Haines thirsting after her dad on national TV. Some fans defended Sara, saying that it is perfectly normal to acknowledge a parent's physical beauty without it being weird. Others did not defend her at all. Well, what do you think? Is this weird or not? Haines has proven she is more than capable of handling the heat, and she seems to be handling this one so well. In an interview with Brian, Haines has made it clear she is not sorry for what she said. She doubled down on her description of her father as hot, and even though Brian constantly expressed it made him uncomfortable, she made sure he knew she didn't care.
You have mentioned to me in passing in other briefings several times that your dad is, as you put it, hot.
yeah.
I always find this weird. I find it weird, Sarah. It's freaking weird.
No,
I just got to be honest.
I'll make it safer for you. My dad is a very handsome man.
Nothing wrong with saying that. I've met your dad. He's a distinguished gentleman. He is a handsome man.
But what makes him hot, and I am not attracted to my dad, just to clear this up.
It sounds like you kind of are.
As far as Haines was concerned, she only stated facts. Facts that many have told her over the years. Your father is hot. She also claims her father saw those articles and was surprised about the uproar because there was nothing wrong to what she said.
he has a swagger, and he's had it forever. And every friend, so remember, there are 3 of us girls and a son.
Yeah.
All of our friends throughout the years of growing up would be like, your dad's so hot. So I kind of took the word and be like, we know dad's hot.
Okay, let's take a step back for a moment. Sara's confession, while odd, is not entirely out of character. Haines is known by everyone for her quirky takes. She often brings a touch of humor to The View, and the fans love her. But this, well, she might have gone a little too far with this one. She definitely crossed the line right into oversharing territory, especially for a daytime TV audience. But this time, many critics are determined to hold her against her outburst, like maybe Joe Rogan.
I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
In a world with a million podcasts, Joe Rogan has made a name for himself as one of the very best. How? Controversy. Joe is always mixed with some drama, and he seems to love it. From hosting guests with wild opinions about everything to having unfiltered opinions on health and politics, he is definitely not a stranger to criticism. He even has some history with almost every controversial person. And of course, the women of The View made the list. Remember the Spotify drama when artists like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell pulled their music because of Joe's content? Yeah, that drama placed Rogan on the dinner table of The View's hosts, including Haines herself, and they did not hesitate to grab their forks and spoons. Well, the internet could not help but wonder if he would return the favor. What would this opinionated podcast host say about Sara Haines seemingly thirsting for her father? Sara's thoughtless comment might just be the perfect fodder to fuel his next episode. And it wouldn't be the first time. Rogan's history with The View is a wild one. He has even mocked the show's credibility in the past and labeled its discussions as performative outrage.
There's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, who are just very dull-minded.
But that is little compared to what the ladies have said and done. They have even called him a believer of dragons, whatever that means.
She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
Should be like
you think they lived
Sasquatch,
alongside of
bitch.
people.
After this debacle, Joe updated his X handle and added Dragon Believer to it. They've been taking shots at each other for quite some time now. During the height of his Spotify controversy, Sara's co-host Joy Behar accused Rogan of spreading misinformation and even slammed Spotify for allowing Rogan to air content she described as dangerous misinformation. Sunny Hostin agreed with her labeled attacks and added that Spotify only dropped his content because they were forced to do so.
But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast?
Imagine shading Spotify because of Joe Rogan. The ladies are never scared of anyone. Unlike Joe, he ignored these ladies and went ahead to discuss this on his podcast.
You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons.
Well, since Joe decided not to pick a fight, his fans helped him. Joe should have responded by saying, "Did I say that Joy looks like a dragon? No, I didn't. I said she looked like a dinosaur." Some accused The View of trying to ride on Rogan's drama for clout, while others pointed out how often Rogan becomes a topic of discussion on the show. So when Sara Haines dropped the hot daddy comment, fans of both The View and Rogan began buzzing in anticipation. Many were even tweeting at him to weigh in. One fan on Reddit even said that Rogan was secretly excited over the drama and the fact that the ladies were under fire. He is probably laughing about this on his next episode, he joked. Well, it looks like he might have been right. In a recent podcast that aired after the daddy comment, Joe Rogan joked about TV hosts making absurd comments on TV. He also joked about talk show hosts being out of touch with real conversations, and many fans have decided that was definitely a subtle dig at Sara. Coincidence? What do you think? Well, even though the lack of direct acknowledgement helped to fuel the excitement, it also led some to argue it might not be about Sara after all, because Joe never holds back from naming names. They might be right, but maybe Joe did decide to go the indirect route this time for Sara, seeing as she was the only one on that table who tried to cut him some slack during that Spotify drama. She even went under fire for trying to defend him. While her co-hosts dissected Joe and called him all kinds of names, Sara Haines had taken a more measured approach. She praised his willingness to apologize and his promise to do better, and she even called his apology refreshing, making many viewers very angry. Some fans tried to defend her by calling her brave for taking a nuanced approach, but others did not cut her any slacks at all. One fan said, "Sara Haines needs to pick a lane. Is she a critic or a fan of Rogan?" Another added, "She's just trying to play nice with everyone. Classic fence sitter." Well, let's face it, Rogan's influence is undeniable. The mere idea of him commenting has already sent people into a frenzy, which proves just how much power his name holds in pop culture discourse today. Whether you love him or hate him, you cannot help but admit that he has changed the podcasting world and has pushed for conversations that the traditional media have tried to ignore. But with The View constantly commenting on his every move, it is clear that the tension between these two media giants will not go away anytime soon. Well, there seems to be more juicy drama coming, as this feud will not end anytime soon. Oh, and I am dying to hear your thoughts on this. Would you call your dad hot? Tell us in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.